What's up, guys? Carl from Fisherman's Landing here for another weekly report here. We're really coming to the end of our fishing season here on our local banks here. Pacific Queen just got back this morning. They had limits of bluefin tuna for, I think it was their 20 passengers, 21 passengers. They had some yellowtail and a few yellowfin also. But it wasn't wide open fishing, but they did make a trip out of it. They definitely caught limits of bluefin. I think majority of that fish is, call it 15 to 35 pounds, 30 pounds, something like that. Uh, the yellowfin they caught was about the same size, I believe. Yellowtail, was out on the bank there. Call it, I don't know, 15 to 20 pound yellowtail, maybe a couple bigger ones there also. But after this weekend, we're pretty much wrapped up on our local banks here. The dolphin, really good morning deep water rock fishing. He's fishing 500 to 700 feet, all kinds of different rockfish and stuff like that. Reds, chilies, Mexicans, salmon grouper, all that type of stuff. Been good fishing there. Weekends have been really well. Remember, we do have kids fish free on Sundays there on the Dolphin. They're fishing shallow water in the afternoons. Good sculpin, some sand bass, a couple calico bass, a few halibut here and there. That type of fishing to be had on the afternoon half days and stuff like that on the weekends and stuff. Long range fishing, really good long range fishing down the beach here and out to the rocks. Out at Leos Rocks, good fishing. When the sharks isn't an issue. It seems like last week those guys didn't have much of a shark issue. This past week, the water's been kind of changing. Some days they have a shark issue, sometimes they don't. Majority of that fish, I think, is probably, call it 40 to 70 pounds, out at the rocks there when the sharks are not an issue. Down on the ridge, good yellowtail fishing down on the beach. Really good wahoo fishing at all the local high spots on the ridge there on wahoo. Most of that fish is probably 30 to 40 pounds, but I know Alan Lindbergh that was on the searcher, he caught one that was 92 pounds. There's been some 60, 70, and 80 pounders caught on all the different boats here. So really good fishing at the rocks on wahoo. I should say it's good fishing. It's not wide open wahoo fishing, but it's definitely down. Everyone's going down there catching one or two wahoo down there. The yellowfin on the ridge is, call it 15 to 30 pound yellowfin tuna. That bigger fish that was down on the ridge is kind of MIA. That smaller fish has kind of moved in, that 15 to 30 pound fish on the ridge. The guys down on the lower banks, still good bigger tuna fishing, call it 60 to 140, 150 pound yellowfin on the lower banks there. There's some bigger ones still to be had. There's some fish pushing 200 pounds, but it seems like it's really good fishing on that, call it 60 to 140, 130 pound yellowfin. Guys are making definitely a good time out of it, good catch out of it. It's not wide open. I don't think they're keeping 4 or 5 fish going, but at the end of the day, if everyone catches 1 or 2 of those bigger, nicer grade yellowfin, you'd call that a successful trip there, on the guys that are fishing down there. Guys are reporting really good dorado fishing out offshore there off the southern Baja there. That fish closer off the the ridge, call it, I don't know, 12 pound, 15 pound fish there or something like that, 10 to 20, 10 to 15 pound dorado. But the guys saying the fish down off the lower banks, that dorado fishing is really good fishing. Call it probably closer to 15 to 20 pound dorado and stuff. So really good fishing down there. There's some good dorado fishing down there. Still fishing, 80 to 100 pound test fluorocarbon 4.0 size hook for fishing that grade of tuna that on the lower banks. You're probably getting away with 40, 50 pound on the ridge and stuff like that. So that's kind of a wrap up what's been going on here at Fisherman's Landing this past week. If you guys want more information, give us a call here at 619-221-8500. You can always check out our social media. Check out fishermanslanding.com. Some of the long range boats still have a few spots left on some of their 10 to 16 day trips. Just check the websites there. You could go to Fisherman's Landing. You can search the long range fleet there, and you can see all the open spots there. Hope everyone's doing well, and we'll talk to you guys next week.